Hello and welcome to Still Eligible. I am Jack. Pat is to my left. Gig 'em. We're headed to Texas A&M. Down the street, College Station. Here we come. A big matchup this weekend. Auburn comes to town. Smoke Monday comes to town. Tank Bigsby comes to town. Bo Nix comes to town. We were going to talk all about it and much more on today's Thursday podcast.
Can you get me a towel?
It's right there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's one of their traditions. We've got a list of traditions that they do at Texas A&M.
It's wild.
It's honestly too many to keep up with.
Yeah, it could be the entire podcast. Just
there's the towel thing. I'm looking at some of my notes. Towel thing.
I think we're actually looking at two separate Google. Like that's how many there are. Like I have like a doc open and you have a doc, and they're like
two different docs. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Towel thing. Yell leaders, not to be mistaken with cheerleaders, because they're not. They've got midnight yell. Hopefully we check that out.
Yep.
The night before a game, I guess they go to the stadium and everyone just screams at each other. What else? How do you say the dog's name?
Trying to pull it up right now.
Revel, maybe?
Revel?
I don't know. I know that they've got this dog thing, and I don't know what number they're on. I think they're on like 10. They've had dogs. It's like a beautiful dog. I don't know the breed or anything like that. And it's the highest ranking member of the Corps of Cadets. And a note, my friend sent me, says it's a boss bitch. So
they also play the song "Stronger" by Kanye when they're running out of the tunnel,
which is a great song to hear as you run out of the tunnel. What else? Some different buildings on campus. We really need to go through this tomorrow.
Yeah.
The quad. The quad. I mean, everyone's got a quad.
Dixie Chicken.
All right.
It's like a dive bar restaurant.
I forget. There's too much. Oh, CC Creations Warehouse. I think that's it. They talked about like the merch spot. Like, I guess this is like a huge old like Best Buy kind of place, just full of Aggie gear.
There's a lot. I mean, we should probably go for 2 weeks to do all these things.
But we're going for 2 days.
Yeah, so we'll have
our shortest trip.
Fit it in.
Yeah, we're excited. There's a lot to do. We might do some unordinary things this trip that we've got planned that we're going to save for later. So take that for what it's worth. And the college football rankings came out last night, Pat.
That they did, Jack. What are your thoughts?
I mean, there's a lot of thoughts that go into this. I'm sure we could talk about Cincinnati for a bit. Not a lot of people are happy about that. The Ohio State-Oregon head-to-head clearly mattered, even though Oregon lost to Stanford. Alabama-Georgia. The commissioner said, or the commissioner, the committee, what's his name? Barta? Gary Barta said that, Alabama and Georgia were easy 1-2, so clearly they show a lot of love to Alabama. Michigan State, the Michigan State, Ohio State, Michigan thing will all play itself out. Oklahoma at 8 is an embarrassment.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest overall take. I understand with the QB change. Like, I guess I'm a little biased too, because when I think of the Texas game, like,
that game was sweet.
It was sweet, but like also, I guess they probably should have had a more convincing win.
They were down by 21, and then Caleb Williams comes in and saves the day.
Style points wise, they crushed it, but also for this, not really. Which is that's kind of where you separate just being a normal fan and kind of how we are trying to look at it right now. There's a lot more that goes into it than, okay, Oklahoma is undefeated and they made the QB change and they're trending upward. There's a lot more factors, clearly, because they're at 8, which I don't agree with. But
yeah, we obviously both had them ranked higher, but all their games have been too close. Like the Kansas game was close.
Yeah,
every game's been close. So obviously they've got a bye week this week, and then at Baylor next week, who Baylor's 12. So they got to come out there and make a statement. I'm sure they will. Caleb Williams posted something on his Instagram story. I screenshotted it, and I guess a bunch of players did, just saying, like, all right, it's championship November. Let's gear up for it. So
Bulletin board.
Bulletin board.
IG, I guess the new IG story is the new bulletin board.
Speaking of which, I had a few people reach out to me and say that your logic over the whole airplane thing was just horrible.
I mean, now thinking about it, I think I probably would do what you're talking about, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about doing the window seat versus the middle seat. That is kind of a little flawed.
I thought I screenshotted it. Maybe I didn't screenshot it. Doesn't make a difference. So there's all that. Cincinnati at 6. I mean, we talked about this the whole year. And as a G5 school, it doesn't look like they're going to get a chance to get in there, considering they've played their best game on the schedule. They still have SMU, but SMU lost. They beat Notre Dame. It seems like 6. A lot would have to happen for Cincinnati to get in there. And we could talk about all the different scenarios, and just looking at the helmets on this thing and what needs to fall and who needs to win and who needs to lose for that to happen. It's just not going to happen. And I was in on them early, and then, like I said, that's what our guy Bartis said, was like the past few weeks they've struggled. And Reese Davis asked him about, well, moving forward, what does that look like? And he's like, we don't look forward, whatever. The whole committee thing's it's all a sham, but it is what it is. So there's that.
I mean, yours was more. I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, yours was you had the top two.
Top two, right?
Correct. You got the Ohio State.
Neither of us had Oregon in there.
No, I didn't. I mean, when you lose to Stanford, I don't know. I mean, I think
also that was me being.
They're also like holding. I mean, for me, a lot of it too is like, obviously anything can happen. Georgia is gonna win out. I don't really care what anybody says.
The regular season, yes.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna have the one test in the SEC championship. Alabama can't afford to lose again, regardless of when that happens.
That's what makes the Auburn game so interesting this weekend, and moving forward is Auburn's got 2 losses, but Auburn can basically write their own destiny, because if they beat Alabama, Georgia, and A&M this weekend, then how do they not? I mean, they'd beat it in the opposite order, or it would be A&M, Alabama, then Georgia. The Iron Bowl has some traction to it, which we didn't think was going to happen earlier this year. So Auburn at 13 can make a move. I don't think Notre Dame can make a move unless a lot of dominoes fall, which is possible. The reason that I was surprised by that Oklahoma thing was having you, like, I get Ohio State's at 5, so I guess that's there too, but having like Michigan ahead of them after losing, so that means they show a lot of love to Michigan State.
Yeah, I just, that was one of my key takeaways too, was like, I don't agree with where Michigan's at, but obviously as a fan, I'm not going to complain. I also just think that as great as Kenneth Walker III is, like, you look at State's remaining schedule, and they have Ohio State and Penn State are their final 2 games.
And they've got Purdue this weekend,
which is not an easy matchup either. So I think out of everyone, obviously in the top 4, I mean, State is the one that I think is definitely going to drop at some point, because I just don't think they have the talent from top to bottom to warrant being in that position. But I mean, you do have to reward them. Like the Michigan State game was one of the biggest games this year so far. So I understand why they're there, but
it's just interesting of how it's going to all play out.
I know.
Because if Alabama beats Georgia, then that's 1 and 2, give or take, whatever. And then you put a Big Ten winner in there. Say, just put Michigan State in there to keep it easy. 1, 2, 3. And then if Oklahoma wins out, then you've got the SEC, the Big Ten, and the Big 12. So then you don't have the Pac-12 and you don't have the ACC. So Wake Forest at 9, there's no way they get in.
No.
And they're undefeated.
I'll get to this later in the podcast, but I mean, I don't even think they'll be undefeated after this weekend. So some of these things may take care of themselves.
November, we've seen a crazy college football season already, so God knows November is going to be no different. Upsets galore. There's an upset every week. There's a big game every week. Something surprises us every week. But It will be interesting because you could see Wake Forest potentially getting that Cincinnati G5 treatment where they don't even get in because, the ACC is just horrible this year. Pittsburgh's at 25. NC State's in there, whatever. But, I don't know. Nobody thought that Wake Forest was going to be ahead of Clemson at this first ranking. I'll tell you that.
No.
I think we both had them in our Final Four.
I guess, how do you feel let's talk from our fandom perspective. You got to feel pretty good being at 5.
Yeah, like I said, I think that being at 5 is good because, we still play 3 and 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what scares me is what I just said, where it's like, all right, say Alabama, Georgia stay 1 and 2. Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC and whatever. They flip, they flop, whatever it may be. That's 1 and 2. And then you look at Oregon still there. They say Oregon wins out, and the reason that Ohio State's not ahead of Oregon is because of the head-to-head. So Oregon moves to 3, give or take, whatever. And Oklahoma wins out. Then I could see Ohio State not even making the Final Four because you have Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, and Oklahoma. And then Ohio State doesn't even make the Final Four. That being said, I don't know when the head-to-head. Because Ohio State's final games are way harder than Oregon's, and their schedule as a whole. Oregon still has Washington, Washington State, Utah, and Oregon State. Ohio State has Nebraska this weekend, Purdue, then Michigan State and Michigan.
Yeah, like you said, playing 3 and 7 at the end of the year, that's about as tough as it gets, I guess, other than Bama and Georgia potentially having to play each other. That's going to be some of the best matchups. So I guess I like it from the standpoint as a Michigan fan of, not that the game doesn't have importance every year, but
it's important
to have the opportunity to, if you guys are in that 4 or 3 spot, to potentially knock you out.
Well, you have to have Ohio State beat Michigan State, or else then it's just Michigan State beats Ohio State, then we're both screwed.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll enjoy rooting for that game, I guess.
I got some gear you can borrow.
No, thanks.
What else? That's pretty much it. I don't think that a lot of the schools beneath Auburn really make a difference. I guess Texas A&M, there's a few dominoes that could fall for them to make a move as well. BYU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Kentucky, NC State, Minnesota up there in the Big 12, Big 10 West. Same with Wisconsin and Iowa, 2021, 22. It's interesting to see all those guys ranked so high, trying to make something of the Big 10 championship. But I don't know. Obviously, week 1, we talked about this. It's just a TV show. It is what it is. I thought about driving over to, I think they do it at some office building. It's in Irving.
Show up.
I Google mapped it. It was 14 minutes away from my apartment.
Just knock on the door.
I was like, there might be tight security there. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it next week. If anyone has any good ideas of what I can do, just DM me or tweet me.
Just hold up a sign outside the window.
Let me in. I've got stuff to say. So there we go. A quick little CFP update for you. And we're going to get into the rest of it. We got, what do we have today? Preciate Ya's locks, Power 5. What else? Is that it?
I think that's pretty much it. We're, like we said, we're excited for this trip. I think just in general, I would say we're kind of hitting our stride. And I don't know about you. I'm getting slightly better at packing. I haven't really been packing the night before.
I'm better at packing.
Yep.
I'm not better at picking.
No.
But
sometimes you roll up to the airport and you just look at me and you say, I have no idea what I packed.
Yeah. I think I said that at least 3 times this year.
I've been bringing way too much stuff.
I overpacked.
Oh, yeah. But better to do that.
Well, the thing is, we
underpack.
get merch there, too. So it's
I know. You only need one outfit.
Bring anything. Just I can wear the same sweatpants on my flight home as I did my flight there.
Yeah.
It's a mess, but whatever. Packing's one thing. We're driving this week, so packing should be
easier.
I don't know. I wanted to say it was only going for 2 days too.
That's true.
Friday, Saturday.
We'll have to go to that giant merch store and then I think we'll be good. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's what is it, like a 5-hour drive, 5.5?
I didn't look it up. I probably should. Considering I'm driving.
Yeah.
It's all good. So yeah.
Preciate Ya. We'll do it. We'll do it live. This is we use Jack's catchphrase. Jack tells this to people all the time. We're going to tell it to some people now in the world of sports that we appreciate them for what they did during the week or in the last few days. So my first one is Cincinnati fans. So Cincinnati football was ranked number 6, obviously in the initial college football playoff poll. The fans are not pleased, Jack. I don't know if you heard about this.
I did. Carry on.
At JuzBNatty tweeted, "I'm not mad. I'm going to donate to at Go Bearcats UCats," which I looked up. It's a group that provides financial support to fund student-athlete scholarships.
I didn't have to look it up. I knew that.
And the special needs of University of Cincinnati Athletic Department in spite of everything. So they started giving a $6 giving spree. So lots of people started donating $6 just out of spite. And I love a good spite donation, love a good spite move. It's helping a good cause, and I just kind of
wait till they move down to 7.
Yeah, if they keep moving down, that's going to be a little more costly. But yeah, Cincinnati fans, I guess I'm sorry, because I had you ranked 2 in mine, but for this little funny move, appreciate you.
Yeah, Cincinnati fans were ruthless, and that also leads into my first one. And the people of Wikipedia. Gary Barta, the chairman of the College Football Playoff Committee, got a lot of people pissed off last night, or I guess 2 nights ago if you're listening to this on Thursday. Cincinnati fans basically have 0% chance of making the playoff, but someone decided to update his Wikipedia. It says Gary Barta, born on September 4th, 1963, is an asshat. So
his legacy.
That is his legacy. And then you go on to Luke Fickle. Luke Fickle said, "Who's the chairman? Did he even play football?" Not only did Gary Barta play college football, he won 3 national championships at North Dakota State.
It's got to hurt their future. I mean, they got to be unbiased, but it's never good to
go after the guy at the top.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. The whole ranking system might be jacked up now, but I don't know. Gary Barta was getting bodied by some people, so we'll see how that goes. And he answered a few questions. We already talked about Cincinnati enough, but I don't see them making the top 4. Sorry to all my friends in Cincinnati. That's what you get for talking crap to me. And I talked to my guy Gary Barta, and then you don't even make the top 5. Go Bucks.
Eichel's mad.
Eichel was mad. There's a couple of people mad. It's good for engagement. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
So what did I say?
Wikipedia.
People of Wikipedia. Yeah. Appreciate you. Mainly in Cincinnati, Ohio.
My next one goes out to UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor. He was not pleased. They're undefeated. They're unranked. They have national media outlets have repeatedly misnamed the San Antonio school as USTA, and that is actually the shorthand for the United States Tennis Association. And adding insult to injury, your guy Gary Barta referred to them as USTA while explaining why.
Not my guy.
Yeah, why they were passed over.
They've got a graduation rate of 35%.
75.
Acceptance rate of 77%.
Got it. And
they do offer some nice financial aid if you're looking.
Oh,
I mean, let's be honest. Does anyone know that UTSA stands for the University of San Antonio? I mean, clearly not.
I mean, I know it now, but the point I'm getting to here is he took advantage of some of this missayings, and he started. I mean, they're posted from his account. I can't guarantee that he was the one photoshopping them, although I like to think it was him. Started just photoshopping players into like USTA, so tennis pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Tweeted a couple, I guess I'll call them memes, and had a little bit of a snarky, kind of snarky copy, which I love. The first one was your unranked team will be traveling to UTEP this weekend. Control what we can control. Triangle will travel, and it's a bunch of tennis players, but with the football players' heads photoshopped on, holding up a USTA flag. I guess there's some other tennis playing memes, and I got a good chuckle out of this. Again, anything with spite, anything with snark, I love. And at Meep Nation tweeted that UTSA not only hired the best coach in college football, they hired an undercover meme lord as well. So Jeff Traylor and all of your memes, appreciate ya.
UTSA has played Illinois, Lamar, Middle Tennessee, Memphis, UNLV, Western Kentucky, Rice, Louisiana Tech, and UTEP. Well, I guess they put them this weekend. That's just a horrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
Don't act like these guys deserve to be ranked. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here. I don't care about the bottom half of the rankings, but UTSA, come on, man.
Yeah, that's not a strength schedule. There is not great.
Pat, today is Wednesday. We dropped podcasts on Thursday. Yesterday, Tuesday, Election Day. The polls are now closed, Pat. Let me tell you about a poll that never closes. Jeff Banks, assistant head coach and special teams coordinator, tight ends coach, on and off the field tight ends coach. His girlfriend, wife, something or other is a dancer in her spare time. A pole assassin is her name, Pat. And let me tell you about her. She's not getting the Preciate Ya. I don't know who's getting this Preciate Ya. But the other day, trick or treat, a child somehow made it into their backyard where her monkey that performs with her bit the kid's finger and his hand was bleeding. And she went on to post a video saying how this kid was trespassing, turning it all on the youth. Saying how the kid was trespassing, how he had to get through multiple signs and gates and whatever to get back to the monkey. And it's a friendly monkey, and I don't know how, whatever, got back in there and bit his hand. So, pole assassin. I don't
all
know.
name team.
All something team. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if this is a Preciate Ya. This is more of just bringing awareness to the fact that you're hearing this correct if you're listening to me.
Yeah, it sounds like like you jumbled up a bunch of words into a title, but it's real.
A kid was bit by a stripper's monkey whose co-owner, husband's, boyfriend's, whatever, is the assistant head coach of special teams coordinator and tight ends at the University of Texas. I mean, I'm just going to leave that there. I don't think there's any appreciation at the end of it, but it needs to be brought awareness.
It happened.
It happened, and I don't even think if I try to make something up, I can make something up that's good.
This is a 2021 headline if there ever was one.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think she's got social media. I think the monkey's got social media. I think she deleted the video. I don't know. But that monkey, I mean, I don't know.
It's a wild story.
It's a monkey business.
It really is. I mean, after that, I feel like all we can do is take a quick break and then come back and we'll do our locks of the week.
We got to reset. We'll be right back.
All right. Welcome back. We're going to jump right into our locks of the week. This is too close for comfort right now. I'm 23-22. You are 21-21-2. I
keep it even, baby. Keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Well, something's going to have to give this weekend, unless I get another tie. Well,
yeah.
We'll see.
I mean,
I would love to be above 500, at least for a week.
I'm just barely holding on right now, so we'll see how
I'll caveat this as I spent a little bit more time than my picks last week.
Yeah. We'll see.
Get things going for us.
We'll see. Auburn at Texas A&M. The game we are going to. We always pick that game first. I'm taking Auburn plus 4.5. I like where Bo Nix's game is at. You haven't called him Bo picks in a few episodes.
Since we talked to Otis.
Yeah, Otis didn't pick him off, and that's just a sign that Bo. No one picked him off that game, I believe, and Bo's doing better. I also just feel like you referenced our guy Smoke Monday. I don't know if we've said this on the podcast. His handle is @before_Tuesday.
It's an electric.
Which may be the best handle. He's been playing great. Tank Bigsby's been playing great. The offense in general has been rolling. I know you remember had a rough outing against Colorado. put up 10 points, but they've been averaging 40 points per game since the Alabama game. I think they're going to win. And in terms of this pick, I'm picking them plus 4.5.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to win, obviously, or if they're going to lose, but I am also taking Auburn plus 4.5. I will give you this. I said earlier that Auburn, their future is in their hands, which is great, and I think that they are playing good ball. My guy, Tank Bigsby, running downhill. Bo Picks is more looking like a guy named Bo Nix. That being said, Kyle Field, I've heard stories of it. I've heard this place is crazy. I heard, it's loud, it's proud. They've got yell captains, leaders, cheerleaders, whatever. I got to figure out the terminology before I
we
get
don't
yelled
want to offend anybody.
But I don't know. Auburn's been on the road this year at LSU, Arkansas, and Penn State for that whiteout game. So I'm thinking that that's not going to be that big of a factor, the home field advantage there. I don't know if A&M is going to win this game, but I do think it's going to be a close game, maybe a field goal game, which is why I'm going under the 4.5 there, taking Auburn plus 4.5.
Nice. I'm taking LSU plus 28.5 at Alabama. This is a ridiculous line. But Coach O, as an interim coach, should still scare people, regardless of the last few games. I know they've lost 3 of their last 4 games. They managed to pull out that victory over Florida, which was pretty shocking. I think that Alabama is going to crush them, but I do think that LSU keeps it relatively close. Thought they didn't look terrible in that loss to Ole Miss that we were at, 31-17. They have a win over Mississippi State, who I believe is ranked like 17th 17th. So
Dogs win again.
Exactly. They've been up and down, but clearly just a few years out from a natty, like they have the talent to keep this one close. So I'm taking LSU.
Yeah, I'm staying completely away from that game.
Figured
that is
you would,
our
yeah.
number one rule. That is our golden rule, to not bet against Alabama. And
I've changed it up. Yeah, I Washington State is no longer up in my book, and I
Who likes Washington State?
Yeah, Ian.
Man, you're an idiot. Ohio State 14.5 at Nebraska. I mean, you knew this was coming, people. I also think the over is going to hit in this game, but that's not my lock. 14.5 at Nebraska. Adrian Martinez is just not good at football. Frost can't figure anything out there. Last time Ohio State was in Nebraska in Lincoln, they won 48-7, 2019. I was there. It was my birthday weekend. I just remember being disinterested at this game. Sidelines are tight. It's a cool little pregame routine they got, and then after that, it's just simply not fun. Nebraska 0-6 against the spread this year, while being dogs of 8 or more points. I think Ohio State needs to get rolling. They've got Purdue, they got Michigan State, they've got team up north still to play. All those games scare me. I talked about it. I'm not saying we're got in the bag by any means, but this one I know we've got in the bag. TreVeyon Henderson. If he's going to make it to New York, as my prediction was the last podcast, we need him to do big things. I think we're just going to go out there and have a field day, and we're going to take the air out of their balloons early and often. Ohio State, 14.5. Go Bucks.
My next one has a little bit of a homecoming vibe. I don't know if I'd call him your guy, my guy, anyone's guy, but Hugh Freeze is going to be in Oxford.
I think he used to hire Pole Assassin.
He probably enjoyed his time in the Grove. I can tell you that much.
Oh, he did. He was a hell of a recruiter.
That he was. So yeah, Liberty is at Ole Miss. I'm gonna take Liberty plus 10.5. Malik Willis. I've told you this before.
What you talking about?
Malik Willis. I've told you this before. I love mock drafts, arguably more than I do love watching the NFL draft, but I love checking mock drafts throughout the year. And in a lot of these drafts, Malik is being projected to be the first quarterback taken overall. Matt Corral, obviously.
What about Spencer Rattler?
Not so much anymore. If you were if you were in a coma for a few weeks and you woke up now, you would think that, but not the case anymore. But no, I'm going to enjoy watching this quarterback matchup. We got to walk with Matty C the other day, and guys got some swag, but I
heard nobody likes him there.
Really?
That's what I heard. I heard nobody at Ole Miss. I heard he's just an asshole. I can't confirm that. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but
why could you see it? Please elaborate.
I don't know.
We're gonna clip this and tag him in it. So tell us.
He's got a certain vibe about him. That
what does that mean? Give me his vibe. Break it down.
He just
don't hold back.
I don't know. He wasn't very friendly to the cameras when we were filming. A lot of his teammates were like,
to go play a game.
I don't know. A lot of his teammates were being super cool, and he wasn't. So I know that was a rare kind of like one-off thing. But yeah, that's if you don't like play up to the camera when I'm holding the camera, then I don't really like you very much. So
I don't play up to the camera when you're holding the camera.
Yes, you do. It's literally the entire operation here. Yeah, so Malik Willis, I think he's legit. I'm excited to see if he is actually the real deal. So Liberty plus 10.5.
USC at Arizona State this week. This is the game nobody's talking about, and they shouldn't be. Arizona State defense is just crumbling. USC's defense has just been atrocious all year. Slovis at quarterback's half decent. Let's just say this. USC has given up 41, 31, 42, 37, 45, 45, 42, and 7 points this season. Arizona State let up 35 last week to Washington State and 34 the week prior against Utah. So I'm thinking over 58 points is a good lock this week. Defense wins championships, but it also helps with the over 58. USC, please. I mean, you're gonna give up at least. What's the mean? The mean on this has got to be like 44. I don't know, or the median or the mode. I wasn't good at math.
Nor was I, but
is it the median? I think it might be the median. Who cares? Anyways, USC, your defense is trash. Hopefully Arizona State says as well. Over 58 lock in. This should be the easiest lock of the weekend. I said that, and now it's not going to hit, but I said it, and we can clip it early if it is.
This is true. My next one, Wake Forest is obviously they're undefeated. They're ranked number 9 in the initial college football playoff poll.
More like woke Forest,
right? I'm taking North Carolina minus 2.5. Sam Howell, not a amazing season. I think. Speaking of Malik, before the year, I saw a lot of mocks with Sam going number 1 or being the first quarterback. Has not had quite as good of a season, but I do believe that just from a talent level, they have what it takes. I know Wake Forest offense is just ridiculous, but I don't know. I could see them dropping a few games at the start of the season. I don't know if they are legit, and this could be the start of them dropping pretty hard in the polls. So I'm going with my boy Sam, taking North Carolina.
That pick freaks me out, man. A lot of your picks freak me out.
I know this could be like a great week or a terrible week. So I don't. I guess we'll see. If it's terrible, you're gonna pass me. So.
Yeah, which I love. Baylor 6.5 versus TCU this weekend. I've got Baylor there, minus 6.5. TCU just fired their guy Gary P. Baylor, they're trying to make a run there in the Big 12, so I think that they're going to win and win by more than a touchdown. TCU's defense might as well be USC's defense, not good. So yeah, I'm rolling with that. It's pretty straightforward.
This is my final pick. Michigan State at Purdue. I'm taking the over here. I think KW3, as I call him, because I refuse to use his real name. He might hit this himself if he pops off again. I think he's pretty much the Heisman favorite. I would say one of the favorites. I don't really know, given how the rankings have been going. I don't know what anyone's criteria is anymore. But Purdue's David Bell, I've referenced him a couple times on the podcast. I really like his game. Andrell Anthony from Michigan. I know we were watching the beginning of the game and saw he had like a 90-something yard touchdown catch at the beginning of the game. Had 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think Michigan State's pass defense is not great. I think Bell is going to pop off again. He's had some big games this year, and yeah, I'm thinking the over hits here.
I love your picks this week because I think the under is going to hit there. I think I think this might be a big week. I think I might take the lead. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking, which I am doing. I've got Michigan State -2.5 at Purdue. I know Purdue is the Dragon Slayer, but normally that is against the number 2 team in the country, not the number 3 team in the country. Michigan State needs to get their act together, keep their act moving, rather. Stay undefeated, especially if they want to make the CFP, as you imagine that they would. Obviously, Purdue has the ability to knock people off. They did it earlier this season to Iowa. But I do think the Michigan State is not going to be complacent, and they're going to come out swinging. Your guy, Kenneth Walker, how can you bet against him? So if they're going to win, they're going to win by more than 2.5 points, right?
Typically football games are, I would say.
It's hard to win by 2.5.
It's really hard.
2.6 or 7. So I'm going Michigan State -2.5.
All right, well, those are our locks of the week. We're gonna power through this next one. This is our Power 5 list. We kind of just pick a topic and we choose 5 things and we try to have some fun with it, but also pick some serious ones. I don't know if there's any better way to put it than that. So our criteria this week is most memorable games. So I think I start this week.
I believe you do.
My number 1 is Texas versus USC in the 2006 National Championship game.
Great one.
I know you can recall the iconic image of Vince Young, running in for the late touchdown. This was just an awesome matchup. I mean, I don't know if it will ever be more hype in the sense of this was like Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, 2 Heisman winners, going up against Texas. Vince Young had 467 total yards in this game. Scored that go-ahead touchdown on 4th and 5 with just 19 seconds remaining. I will never forget. I watched this game with my friends live. It was absolutely insane.
That was your 21st birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my 40th actually. So, yes. So 2006 Natty is my first one.
Yeah, memorable games. My first memorable game has to be hide and seek. A favorite game as a child. I was always good at it. Could hide in small, tight places, corners. I actually broke my one friend's parents' dryer as a kid because I hid in the dryer. Nobody found me. I was in there for a very long time. Luckily, nobody turned it on. But that might explain some of my stutters I have. Hide and seek. Yeah, just a good game. You don't need any. There's no additional balls or anything like that. You can just play wherever, whatever, as long as you have something to hide behind or in, rather, in my case. Hide and seek. My next one, Duck, Duck, Goose. Another good game. Also, no balls. This is a good one for me. I was a fast kid. This was able to show off my speed, my agility. I'm good at running in circles. I ran track. Duck, Duck, Goose is a good one, especially if there's strategy that went into Duck, Duck, Goose. If you always tap the person as you're already past them, you just bolt, and you always also keep your one hand behind you and just immediately spin around, and hit them. So I was good at Duck, Duck, Goose, good at hide and seek. Got to get those 2 off the board early and often.
Yeah, usually it's kind of the other way around, but I think we did this one slightly differently, which is totally fine. Probably makes it more fun.
It says most memorable games, Pat. You came up with the idea.
Well, there's a lot of interpretations of games as we're seeing currently. My number 2 one is Boise State against Oklahoma in the 2007 Fiesta Bowl. Although I'm
a good one.
Currently thinking of childhood games, but I'll keep this one going. This one had a lot of crazy moments. We had the Statue of Liberty. The proposal. I mean, it was arguably one of the most exciting games ever.
Blue turf.
I mean, just a lot going on there. Ian Johnson proposing to his girlfriend. I mean, that can't really get any better.
Whatever happened to Ian Johnson?
I am not sure, but he will. If that's the moment you peak, then you did pretty good. I think he played in the NFL. I think he played in the NFL for a little bit. Did the Lions draft him possibly? I don't know. Maybe that's
The Vikings.
the Vikings. Well, great moment from him. Awesome game. Yeah, so that game is my number 2. This is actually my last football game on this list. It's not all football games. Don't worry.
I was worried.
2003 Fiesta Bowl. I know you remember this one, or I'm not sure if you were actually born yet, but Ohio State beat Miami 31-24. I was actually at this game.
This is one of your favorite games.
This is one of my favorite games. The pass interference call, I still remember. I know it was Glenn Sharp, but I believe it was, I know you remember Buckeye legend Chris Gamble.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it was on Gamble. I was sitting, my seat was kind of right over by that end zone, and just kind of seeing that flag.
Whatever happened to Chris Gamble?
I don't know.
Carry on.
Okay. And then, threw a flag. Very controversial call. Maurice Claret, freshman Buckeye legend, ran in for a touchdown. That was kind of like the first game I think I was at where I was like, oh my God, college football is. I knew it was my favorite sport, but I didn't realize how much I truly loved it until that game. So
You were at Ohio State game.
yeah, I mean,
I love it.
that Miami team was stacked, by the way. That was one of the craziest rosters ever, which made the upset that much better. So the fact that I am applauding an Ohio State victory is not lost on me. But yeah, those are my first 3.
No controversial calls in that game.
No.
Whatsoever. My third one, most memorable games. Simon Says, no balls. Again, I was really good at following directions, having a great memory as a child. This was a game I was elite at. We had the game. It's just easy stuff. Simon Says, a fun game. You had the board version where you could just press the buttons, or there was the in-person game. It's just a fun game. Simon Says, Duck Duck Goose, hide and seek, all fun games. No balls needed. In this one, you don't need a ball either, but you do need a bottle. Spin the bottle, Pat. A good game. A fun game, depending on who you're playing with. I guess it depends. But I always ended up on the right side of things. Spin the bottle. I mean, this got me through my childhood. I was a rough childhood. I had to get braces and whatever. So the only way to get a kiss was via the Coke bottle, Pat. And a personal favorite, no balls. Of 0 for 4 on balls in mine, for the record. Not all games require balls, Pat.
My next one does. This I kind of spoke too soon. This one's also a football game. The touch football game in Wedding Crashers.
Oh yeah, it's an elite game.
Jeremy Gray, Vince Vaughn's character, first team All-State quarterback. At least that's
whatever happened to Jeremy.
That's
Gray?
what he claimed. I'm just going to keep talking. And so, if for those of you who don't remember, former first team All-State quarterback Jeremy Gray threw the intentional pick to Claire so that John wanted to make her feel good. It really hurt his QB rating and also put him in a very vulnerable spot. He took that huge hit from Sack Lodge, Bradley Cooper's character. Not targeting. I rewatched it today just to kind of familiarize. I can't pronounce that word. Become familiar with what happened again, and was not targeting. It was hit him with the shoulder. Really hard hit, but legal. And that's number 4 on my list of games. Let's see here. I guess my last one here will be.
Don't take mine, please.
I don't think I am. Harry Potter winning the Quidditch Cup.
People forget about that.
Were you a Harry Potter guy?
Absolutely not.
In this one, won it for the first time in centuries. He got to do it right in front of Malfoy. Did it on his new Firebolts, but despite all of Slytherin's cheating tactics, Harry got the snitch, and his entire team fell in on him to cover him in hugs before taking the celebrations back to the Gryffindor common room, what house do you think you would have been
Did you
in?
straight just read that off of Spark Notes?
No comment.
What house would I have been in?
Yeah.
Well, you would have been in Hufflepuff.
I mean,
I don't know.
I know you'd be in Slytherin. Come on.
That's fine. I don't care. I wasn't much of a Harry Potter guy. The movies were cool.
Movies were cool.
Was a snitch considered a ball?
Technically, which is why I knew you wouldn't be picking it.
My last one. I was gonna say also No Balls, which is the Aquila and the Bee, a great movie. Spelling bee champion, Aquila and the Bee. People forget about this movie. I did not. Honestly, I don't remember much of it. All I know is that Aquila won the spelling bee. She went through a lot. It was like a Mr. Miyagi training period. I forget. I didn't do much research on this.
I mean, I didn't either. I just read mine off an article.
This was, yeah, I know you did. And I'm not going to, the plot is 3 paragraphs. I don't have time to read it.
Yeah.
All I know is that she won. I remember it was like a controversial ending. I think they were like declared co-champs, and then some other stuff happened. I think she was finally named the winner. Aquila Anderson, 11-year-old, spelling enthusiast is the first 6 words of the Wikipedia thing there. So I don't think it was a true story. But if it was, shout out you, Aquila. And you keep on spelling, girlfriend.
I can't wait to see that graphic this week. It's going to be wild.
You and me both. So, yeah, that is our Power 5 of most memorable games. We'll be sure to post the graphic. Please vote on social media who's most memorable games are better.
Mm-hmm. Better is subjective.
You don't even need balls for my games.
Yeah, it's easier to play your games. But no, I mean, I think that's it. I mean, we're excited for the trip. This is our first trip where we're going on Friday, so no idea what we're gonna do with our lives tomorrow.
We're gonna come up with a plan, Pat. That's what we're gonna do.
Yes.
We're gonna come up with a plan, and we're gonna execute it this weekend. In and out, no funny business. Auburn, A&M, a big matchup this weekend. I'm excited about it. It should be a good one.
No funny business, but there may be some monkey business.
No monkey. We gotta we could stop in Austin on the way. See if
get him on the pod.
Whole Assassin's available. But I don't know what the name of the monkey is. Do you know the name of the monkey?
I saw it earlier. I think I was looking at the Instagram page of the monkey.
I thought the monkey.
Monkey has
find it real quick.
Yeah, the monkey has an Instagram page, which is
my Wi-Fi.
Definitely is Gia.
Gia the monkey.
Gia the monkey.
So also no balls.
And a lot of people are commenting like "bad monkey" on the page.
Bad monkey. Well, there you go. Follow Gia. What's the Instagram page?
Monkey_Gia.
Should follow it from Still Eligible.
Sure. Why not?
Why not? Yes, we are headed to A&M, College Station. Home of Johnny Manziel, Mike Evans. Who else went there? Von Miller, no longer a Bronco. Myles Garrett. And yeah, Texas A&M, 14 taking on 13 Auburn. We'll see ya on the other side.
Dogs win again.
God, I always jack that up. Use it once, and then I got to press all these buttons to go back just to... I messed it up just to
end the podcast.
Just to press. Hey, it's Jack. Appreciate you listening to today's podcast. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Make sure to follow us on social media @StillEligible. We'll see you next time.